right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Late for the Party on Anchor FM. I am your host, Melodious, aka Cover Boy, the Modern Marvel. That's right, you guys. We are going to get into a Quickfire review. That's right, you guys. We're going to get into a Quickfire review of, and no spoilers, I'm just going to talk about my thoughts about the show. That is none other than Disney Plus, also known in Marvel Studios, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I must say, man, like I've caught up to all of them so from episode 5, and honestly, I feel what's going on with this show. Definitely, it's dope. I like how Falcon's taking the main front of what's going on. I mean, they're showing Falcon some love because honestly, Falcon is a dope character. I'm loving how he's having the conflict of after Endgame, Steve gives him he gives him the shield to where he wants him to be the next. Well, I wouldn't want to say the next Captain America, but the holder of the shield because of just his viewpoints, how he stands with. I mean, it takes a lot of responsibility to hold the man that you're not even really prepared for. It's like passing the torch to the person that, just thinking about Steve passing the torch to somebody he believes that has it, but the person that, but for Sam, he doesn't feel like he's that person, and that's saying a lot, I mean, he couldn't give it to Bucky because Bucky is he's still conflicting with himself of all the things that he's been through just being the Winter Soldier, And I'm gonna look at it like the different personas between Winter Soldier and Bucky, you know what I'm saying? Because Bucky, he's just, he comes back, not to mention that both of these cats come back after the blip. And it's funny how most of the Disney show, all the Marvel shows are all mostly people who are coming back from the blip, you know what I'm saying? Or the snap. And it's interesting because not only that you have you have basically Wanda, everybody's coming back doing shows. I mean, even Loki is dead, so it's kind of but he wound up getting away when he used the Tesseract, so up in Endgame. So, I mean, there's a lot to what's going on, and I'm trying to see how everything ties in eventually. So, so he decided, so basically, long story short, episode 1, basically he gives up the shield, and they put it in the museum, in the Captain America museum and whatnot. So, but then the government makes the conscious decision to wanting to give it to the new Captain America, or make their own Captain America, because they feel like the world needs a Captain America right now. And in some cases, it's rightfully so, but there's a lot to it because a lot of people feels like after the blip, things were moving in a better perspective than it was before the blip happened. So there's a lot of people whose views and how they feel and when everybody came back, now it's kind of put the whole world in an uproar, and it's kind of now, people are back. And now, technically they weren't dead, but technically now they're alive. So, what do you do? And now it's 5 years later, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot going on with that as well. And not only that, you see, Baron Zemo, back in his purest form of master manipulator, which was dope. I love Baron Zemo. He was actually dope in the show. Then you see Agent 13. You see Sharon Carter, you know, she's like, like you see all the stuff that she's been going through, and you know, she, after the whole events with Civil War, she's kind of like been in hiding, like she can't come back to the States, and you know, but now she's kind of like doing all this manipulate. I mean, now she's kind of like working rogue up in like Maripor, and it's pretty dope. I mean, it gives me that civil. Uh it gives me like the vibe of like when Winter Soldier and the movies Winter Soldier and Civil War came out. Like it kind of gives you that thriller vibe with the fact that you got like spy espionage, but with Captain America in it, or with like with with Captain America vibes. And it's cool. I like shit like that. I mean, we don't really get that kind of TV unless if it's like on some like Jack Ryan or anything like that in that magnitude. And honestly, it's like for all the stuff that's going on with these characters in it, like there's a lot of emotion behind it too, and it shows like being I mean, it even talks about the experiences that Black people had in America as well, especially when they get into with Isaiah Bradley. And if anybody knows about that, Isaiah Bradley was technically the first Captain America, but of course they're probably doing a little unique twists and turns to everything. But they experimented, like they were putting the super soldier serum in Black folks, and they were doing experimentations on Black people, and some of the serums either killed people, got some people survived, but some of them had side effects. And then for Isaiah Bradley's situation, like he was in jail. They jailed him, and they tried to bury the evidence because it was a success. But having the realm of being a Black, I mean, they were going to have a Black Captain America, and that I actually like those parts in this show too, because they're explaining a lot of things to where like you're starting to see the Captain America lore even within like all the books with Truth, the books with Winter Soldier, they're molding the stuff with Isaiah Bradley being the first Black Captain America, but he was jailed. Also, you see the Wakandans pop in, because of the whole thing with Bucky, and obviously for his rehabilitation, he was going through. He was dealing with all the rehabilitation. Well, he was, they were rehabilitating him in Wakanda, and I like how they were using. Of course, when Baron Zemo comes back to Wakandans, like she wants revenge because she was supposed to be, one of the guards who was supposed to protect King T'Chaka at the time. So there's a lot that's fusing together with like Winter Soldier, like all the stuff that from Winter Soldier, Civil War, even Black Panther, like it kind of ties in together, and that shit is cool. And I'm not even gonna sit here I'm gonna start talking about how they added John Walker, aka U.S. agent. Well, even though he's not U.S. agent at the moment, but eventually he will be. Because even in the comic books they explain that after Steve Rogers retired, quit as Captain America, then they made John Walker the new Captain America. But he was kind of brash, very very intense, brash, and sometimes like he was off unhinged. So he was definitely kind of like not that type of person to really hold the mantle. And Yeah, bro, and I can't wait to see, like, what's the new costumes for Bucky. I mean, what's the new costume for Falcon, and the new costume for, like, the new costume for Winter Soldier. Not Winter Soldier. U.S. Agent whenever he shows up. So I mean, I'm calling him U.S. Agent right now because obviously he believes, like, he's the true Captain America. So a lot of things are coming to the head. The Flag Smashers, I like their part in the in the movie too. They're very, they, you can see why they're doing it, but obviously it's just like at the point, like they're at the point of no return. Like, even wars. I mean, even wars like this have casualties, even if you have to explain, like, just to show that, like, what they're doing is in their eyes is right. But the problem is that, in the eyes of the world, they're the terrorists. When, it's pretty deep. It gets deep. I like these kind of thrillers, but like I said, it's like when Winter Soldier and whatnot came out. That's why I like Winter Soldier is definitely one of my greatest films of all time. I mean, especially Marvel films, but it shows, like, that intense, like, you get a political thriller in a freaking Marvel comic book hero. And that's saying a lot. I mean, for Falcon and Winter Soldier, you see a lot of things. You see a lot of politics, and you see a lot of things with, like, just, you even see a lot of financial issues. I mean, even for heroes, they don't really have money like that because they're just doing a service, but they don't actually work a 9 to 5. That's a lot of things. Like, certain heroes really don't get money unless you're funded by somebody. And who was funding the Avengers? Tony Stark. Tony Stark had all the money. Now Tony Stark is dead. So it's kind of like, what happens after that? So now you start seeing like where the wheels are actually turning. So, and I like that I like to see those kind of things pop up. And I love the fact that, like, you see Bucky going through therapy because he's been through a lot of trauma, man. Like, I applaud that for real because, with all the things that he's done, you see, even when he's in the other movies, like, you see all the conflict in his look, how he feels. And, he's trying to make amends for all the things that's happened because obviously, being brainwashed, and you see a lot of that today in times like with veterans and whatnot. And they played that part for him very well. And I'm actually liking it. I mean, considering the fact that he's even holding himself back in some of the fights, because honestly, it's like, if he wanted to go full tilt, I'm guaranteeing he probably would have killed everybody in that damn show right now. But I digress from my point, you guys. I'm gonna get off the hook, but before I do that, like I said, I'm giving so far the Falcon and the Winter Soldier a solid 9.5 for real. Like, I don't know the full conclusion. That's why I'm giving it a solid 9.5 right now, because what I've seen right now, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's one of the best shows I've seen just thus far. So far, like, all the shows from, like, Invincible and Winter Soldier, I mean, even WandaVision, I mean, they're really kicking things in the high gear, and obviously they're doing these shows a good service. And actually, you know what? I'm actually happy that we're actually seeing these shows, because now they're getting an explanation. Like, they can expand more of the story than trying to cram everything within 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't just cram everything about certain things in movies than you could on a TV show, especially for like an hour a piece, especially if the show is going on for like a series or a season. So I mean, they could do a lot of explanations, which is dope. And I'm like Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is definitely up there. That's like starting to be one of my favorite shows. That's starting to be up there with Daredevil and Luke Cage right now. So, woo, man. Either way, you guys. Like I said, I give it a solid 9.5. That's right, man. Woo! This is a Quickfire review on Late for the Party on Anchor FM and Late for the Party Live on YouTube. So either way, you guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and support the podcast on Anchor FM, where you can listen to all the podcasts on all 10 platforms. Or if you want to see this beautiful face on YouTube, you can do that as well. So also check out all the cool merch on the Late for the Party store on teespring.com, you guys. Either way, I am your host, Melodious, a.k.a. Coverboy, the Modern Marvel, signing off. And as always, if you're going to be late for the party, turn it up to 11.